Okay, this is round 4, North American Open. So far I have 2 losses and 1 draw. So let's see how this one went. I decided to play the Spanish. Knight takes e4. Okay, now this is interesting. I know the correct move is to move rook, attack the knight, knight attacks the bishop, knight takes pawn, knight cannot take the bishop because this comes with check and you would win the queen. So knight has to take the knight, rook takes check, bishop block, rook takes knight, and bishop takes rook. But that's not what I did. That's what I thought in the first 2 seconds, and I said, no, let's do something else. Well, actually, I didn't say that. I just started thinking about other things that led me to do this. Not a good move. At least I don't think it's a good move. Knight attacks the bishop. I had to do the exchange to make sure I get my pawn back. Rook takes e1, now I'm attacking e7. I got my pawn back. Castle. Pawn d4, I'm not sure if that's correct either. After I made the move, I said I should have went knight f3. There's no reason to really push that pawn up right now. It only gives him the opportunity to put pressure on it. That's what he did. Now I have to make a pawn move as well as deny my knight that square. I played queen over, thinking that my pieces would be able to get more active. But I already know that this pawn is going to get isolated. What the book recommends is just take the pawn off. I didn't want to take the pawn off because then it sort of activates his bishop. Played the queen over. I got isolated pawn. I don't really have any compensation for it. He's going to be able to freely develop. Even right now. Play the bishop up. Well, not really. Play the rook over, which is what he's going to do to place pressure on that pawn. So not only do I get the isolated pawn, but he can place immediate pressure on it. And here, I know first 30 seconds I said, you got to defend the pawn. Put the bishop over there. You can activate your rooks, and hopefully you can get some threats in before he activates his king rook. I'm sorry, his queen rook. But then I said, let's be brilliant. So I thought for about 10-15 minutes, and I came up with, hey, let's sacrifice a pawn. Don't have anything else to do. Knight takes, rook takes, bishop attacks. Now he has to be careful. He tries to counterattack. I attack the rook and protect my bishop, threatening his bishop. As bishop moves out of the way, I get to the 8th rank with a checkmate if he's not careful. But you gotta assume that your opponent is gonna see all that, or are you gonna be left with a better position? No, if he sees all that, I'll be left a pawn down. I don't think he saw it. I think he knew that I was trying to sacrifice a pawn, so he was going to do anything but play into that sacrifice. I have to defend the square there. Now there's not going to be any back row mate, so he pushed up the pawn. And now that he's pushed back my knight, he went for the take. I think maybe I should have just nope the fork right there, so I had to take. And now, since I put my foot in it, I might as well play it out. I want to protect his back rank. I'm trying to at least have some degree of pressure. I thought about just accepting it and going for the draw, but I don't think he was going to play into the draw, so I might as well play what I consider to be the best moves at the time. He's of course headed to the long diagonal. And making the threat again. I think he can be more active. He's playing what I think are pretty conservative moves. He could have moved the bishop back and kept him on that diagonal. I don't think we're going to have any chances against that pawn. It's not like he has other things blocking him in. He can run anywhere he wants. So I had to make another threat. It's not much good. Now I have to make room for my own king in the back rank. Now his rook is into the game. I don't see much hope here. I want to make sure that his rook is not able to reach my second rank. I'm trying to find an active square for my knight. I don't know where though. I want to advance up my pawns because usually I don't, but I felt that if I could advance them, then there might be some chances because I'll be so close to the 8th. That's just a guess. Of course, I put this into the computer and it says it's a 1 in game for black. But it also said that all the way up to the final moves when I knew it was a draw. Bishop finally makes it to the active diagonal. I'm playing my king in. The thing that I also wanted to do is put those on white so I could have an endgame with opposite colored bishop. Of course I did this dumb move thinking that he would not exchange off, and he did exchange off. Now we have bishops of a light color in the endgame, so, and he has a pawn up. So I'm hoping that I could get more space and somehow make a game of it. I don't know how. I was feeling kind of good right now, not real good, but kind of good. A5. Now, I put this in the computer. I thought he should have went c5. Pawn takes. And I'm thinking he has room to try to get his king around. If he doesn't, things can be blocked out. His king just could end up not being able to get in, period. But the computer recommends the same move. Now what I'm hoping, because I'm playing a pawn down, is that this king site becomes totally locked up. And it does. Now, I'm thinking that's a draw. It's an interesting draw at that. If he takes off, I take. He has a passed pawn, but his king can never come through. It just can't come through. Take, push, push. I had to make sure my king stayed close enough to that pawn. So at this point, I actually offered him a draw. He said no. I said fine. At this point, he accepted the draw. I thought that was interesting. A pawn down, and the only reason it's a draw is because your king can't come through. Now, what was interesting, I didn't give it a whole lot of thought because I was ready to stop playing anyway. When his bishop was here, if I take, he takes, I push up. Is it a win for white? Let's look just real quick. Take. Step up. I should have thought this out. I didn't. Push up, push over. Can white get through? I don't think so. Come back, come up, come over. No, see, that can become risky. In any case, that was the game, round 4.